I'm just popping in here really quickly to give a bit of an explanation. This isn't my usual sort of video. I don't usually share anything at all personal. I prefer to focus on pre-driving dogs. But I had an email asking me a question and I thought I would make a video to answer it just in case other people were wondering. So this time last year, well, last March and in January 2024 as well, I did these really amazing offers on my masterclasses only version of my High Pre-Drive Club. At the time, I was really concerned about money, and I knew lots of people were really concerned about money. And I wanted to do something to enable me to help people who perhaps just were like me, didn't have enough money coming in. So I wanted to offer something really low cost. So I set up a pay what you can offer that, and I let people choose how much they wanted to pay. Well, they could pay £30, £60 or £120, which was the full cost of getting the master classes for a year. And loads of people took me up on that offer. It was absolutely lovely, and I was really happy to be able to support the people through my club where the cost was a barrier to them. And at the time I felt so good about it. I felt like it was a really nice thing to do, and I planned to offer it regularly. And then I didn't. And the reason that I didn't was because while doing that absolutely brought some wonderful people into my life, and it has been a joy on the whole to support people for the last year. That's the last people who joined during one of those offers finished their year in the club now. And while it was on the whole an absolute joy, it also seemed to attract a percentage of people who, when they paid £30, just really didn't value what they were getting. And then also, I'm guessing, I don't know, I didn't have the conversation with anybody, so I am guessing. But what I found was I was getting a higher percentage than normal of really quite angry emails telling me I wasn't helping, or it was absolutely ridiculous, because I would every so often I would say, if you need a bit more help, you can always join the club as a VIP member, or I would let them know whenever I'd set up a new one of my bite-sized training offers in case that would help them a bit more. And I was getting these increasingly angry emails about that. And I was trying to help. I was trying to say, there's more. If you need more help, I can give you more help. If you would like to learn this, then here is something that's also very low cost, but it will help you learn whatever it was, a drop or a stop or whatever it was. And that's not normal. I don't normally get messages like that from people who are either VIP members of my club or masterclasses only members of my club. That was the last year has been very unusual. And I felt as though what had happened was I'd made the cost so low that I was attracting people who just weren't ready to actually make any changes to help resolve their pre-drive issues. But because they were still having the issues, and they had somebody to almost direct their stress and anger at, they were directing it at me. And I completely get it. Having a high pre-drive dog is really stressful. Making the changes in your life that you need to make to learn about them, to spend the time with them, it's hard to do, especially when almost always people wanted to just have a pet dog. So I completely understand the stress, and I completely understand stress coming out as anger. I've got every empathy with that. It's something I work very hard on, because that's my natural tendency as well, and I work very hard on keeping a lid on that tendency, because it's not how I want to treat other people in the world. So I work very hard to keep a lid on that. And I've done quite a lot of self-development work to enable me to do it. But I know when you're overwhelmed, you don't have time for all of that. That's not going to happen. But I'd often get quite an angry email that also started off with, and I haven't even looked at the masterclasses. And yeah, I get it when you're stressed and upset and you don't want to make it, you want things to change, but you're in such a bad place that you can't bring yourself to make any changes. I get it. Then you don't engage with doing the work, and it was so low cost, £30 for a year's worth of content. It's less than £3 a month. It's so low cost that then people weren't feeling like they needed to. But the thing is, if you don't do the dog training work, nothing changes. And if you don't do the work with high prey-drive dogs, if anything, it gets worse over time, not better. Because that was what was happening. People were emailing me, this is worse now. I haven't done anything you've said, but this is now worse and it's your fault, Tracy. So anyway, because there was more of that than usual, and what triggered it was me making those super low cost offers that I did to try and help people, I decided not to do them anymore because I could see for myself that it was so low cost that people didn't really value it, and then they weren't in a situation in their life where they could reasonably put the time aside to do the work they need to do, but they felt like it was okay to kind of take it out on me. And I decided not to offer them anymore for that reason. Not massively because it's all that upsetting. I completely understand the taking out. I worked in IT for 22 years. Everybody takes their woes out on you when you work in IT. It's not that I was massively being stressed by it. It's just that I like to feel like I'm helping. And when I don't feel like I'm helping, I have a tendency to leave jobs. I've left more than one nice, well-paid job because I didn't feel like I was helping. And I love the club. I'm not planning to leave it. So what I need to do is adjust it so that I am not having to deal with those sorts of messages. Because if I let that go on and on over time, it would affect me. If it only happens every so often, it's fine. But if it went on and on, it would really affect me. So I've made the decision now. There will be no more discounting of the club. The prices that are on my website now are the prices that it is going to stay at. The only thing that will happen is the prices will go up every so often. I'm not reducing the prices again because it seems to attract a percentage of people who are not ready yet. And I completely understand buying something that's really cheap just in the hope that buying it will make a change. I've done that before. It's really common to do. But I don't want to bear the brunt. I don't want to be bearing the brunt of people making those decisions. But also I don't want to exclude people who are in genuine need but are on very low incomes, and that's why I'm continuing to build my library of bite-sized trainings so that people who don't have as much money as they would like to right now can have access to something. It's not nearly as good as the club, but it offers a lower cost option, and because it's you buy this one thing and then that's all you get, and you get 3 months of calls with me to ask questions, but it's just 3 months. Doesn't go on, the support doesn't go on, and I don't tend to be in contact with the people that have bought the bite-sized trainings to offer them anything else. I just let them have their 3 months and then remove them off that part of my mailing list. And that's what I will do going forward, so that I can still help people who are on a lower income or have their money's tied up with paying their bills. But I am no longer going to discount the club in any way. It is the price. It's very good value. I am very good at my job. I'm great at offering support to people, and I just don't want to become people's punching bag almost because they're frustrated because they're not making progress, often because they're not doing any of the work. That's as much as I can offer help, but I can't do the work for anybody. That's the responsibility of the people who come to work with me. You guys need to do the work. and I can offer my support, and I will continue to tell people if I can offer them more support. I can do all of that, but I can't do the work for you. That's not really the job of many dog trainers. There are some dog trainers who will take dogs in and keep them in their facility for a while and work on training them. I don't work like that, and most dog trainers don't work like that, and it's because a dog's not a washing machine. To get the best out of a dog, you need to have a relationship with the dog, and you need to be the one training it. And that's why most dog trainers, whether they work online like I do or whether they work in person like many dog trainers do, what they will do is teach you how to train your dog. And that is how you get the best out of working with a dog trainer. Is you go to them, they teach you what to do, and you go home and you do it, and every day you do a little bit of what they show you, and that's how you make progress. But I just wanted to make this video to explain why I am not running any more of those super low cost offers on the High Prey Drive Club. It's far too valuable, and I will not devalue it in that way. Having seen the effect of doing it, and I feel like I will be almost recovering from the effects of making that decision for longer. I think it'll probably be into next year before I feel as though the effects of that have worn off. But if you are waiting around and thinking, oh, I'll join the club when Tracy makes another really cheap offer, don't do that, because I won't be making another really cheap offer. Join now. I'm not planning to put the prices up, but that's the only fluctuation in price that it'll be, is every so often I will put the prices up in line with inflation, because my bills are going up the same as everybody else's bills are going up, and my income is the only income coming into my household. I'm paying for everything, so I do need to protect myself quite a lot so that I can keep on doing this work and keep on helping people, because that's really important to me. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye for now.